Wildfires can be absolutely devastating, and they are largely caused by us. But that also comes with some good news.
It means that we can also prevent most wildfires from happening.
And that is where our homeboy, Smokey Bear, comes in.
Since 1944, Smokey has been keeping us informed with the best strategies to keep our lands safe from fire. In fact, over the years, he's come up with Smokey Bear's 5 rules of wildfire prevention.
Number 1, only you can prevent wildfires.
Number 2, always be careful with fire.
Number 3, never play with matches or lighters.
Number 4, always watch your campfire.
Number 5, make sure your campfire is completely out before leaving it. Let's take a look at each individual rule.
Rule 1, only you can prevent wildfires. Sorry, only you can prevent wildfires.
Almost 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by people. So it's up to all of us to do our part in preventing those wildfires from happening.
But that didn't used to be Smokey's slogan, right?
That's true. If you're old, kind of like me, you'll remember that Smokey Bear used to say, only you can prevent forest fires.
So why did he change that to wildfires?
Well, humans don't just cause fires in forests. Fires can also burn our countries, grasslands, and other types of ecological communities.
Oh, gotcha. We have to remember to keep all of our lands and people safe from uncontrolled fire.
Right on. Also, remember that some people cause wildfires on purpose. Keep an eye out for suspicious activity, and be sure to tell the rangers or campground hosts if you see anything.
Rule 2, A.B.C. Always be careful with fire. We're going to give you some things to look out for and tips that you can talk about with your parents or other adults.
In some places in the country, people collect debris on their property to burn in a pile. In some areas, this is illegal, so be sure to know what your local laws are.
But let's say your parents have collected a bunch of dead twigs and branches around your yard, and they want to burn them. Before they burn a pile of debris, they should always take a minute to check a few things.
Clear out the area around the pile so that there aren't any leaves, pine needles, or other flammable things nearby.
Also, look up. Make sure there isn't anything hanging over the debris pile.
For that matter, the burn pile shouldn't be too tall because you're going to want to keep it under control.
Lastly, never burn debris in high winds. The wind could send the embers around your property and catch other things on fire.
In fact, Smokey has something to say about burning debris. So let's watch this video.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
What's he
Hey,
doing
it's
here?
Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you
me to
said,
make it big.
no, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger, the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
He watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Nice job, Smokey.
You know, I bet you love a grilled hot dog or burger, or at least melting a marshmallow over the grill.
You can help your parents after they're done grilling. Pour lots of water on the charcoal briquettes and ash, stir them, and then drown it again.
Use the back of your hand to check to see if it's still hot.
Remember, if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
So, if it is still hot, keep stirring and soaking it until the hot coals are extinguished.
Smokey would like to chime in again about charcoal grills. Here's another video.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes. Good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Educational and tasty, Smokey.
Another important tip for your parents is to remove the woody debris in the forested areas. Sometimes, usually after a rough storm, trees get knocked down.
And if they're left alone too long, they dry out and become really easy fuel for fire to burn. By removing this woody debris, we take away a lot of what wildfires need to keep burning.
You can also be aware of the ways that vehicles can cause wildfires. Lots of trailers, for example, have safety chains connected to the front where they attach to the back of your vehicle.
You can help your parents or other adults be sure these chains and other metal parts aren't dragging. If they make contact with the ground, they can actually cause sparks and catch the surrounding area on fire.
Likewise, driving on an exposed wheel rim can cause sparks, so be sure your parents check their tire pressure often.
And the other thing that can spark are brake pads, so your parents should make sure that those don't wear too thin.
Also, parents should be careful driving through or parking on dry grass or brush. Hot exhaust pipes can catch the grass on fire.
There are many ways that lawn equipment can cause wildfires too. Metal lawnmower blades striking rocks can create sparks and start fires. So, if you're helping your parents mow, be careful on hot, dry days, and be sure to get your equipment checked regularly.
If you do mow, do it before 10 a.m. when it's cooler outside, but never mow when it's windy or excessively dry.
In wildland areas, your parents are required to use spark arresters on all portable, gasoline-powered equipment.
A spark arrestor is a device that traps or destroys hot exhaust particles. They can be used on tractors, harvesters, chainsaws, weed eaters, and lawnmowers. Spark arresters greatly reduce the risk of starting a wildfire.
Your folks should keep the exhaust system, spark arresters, and engine in proper working order and free from carbon buildup. They should use the recommended grade of fuel, and they shouldn't fill to the point of overflowing.
When doing any yard work or work outdoors with mechanical equipment, keep a shovel and a fire extinguisher handy.
In wildland areas, if your parents are doing any grinding or welding, they'll need a permit and at least a 10-foot buffer away from anything that could catch fire.
Rule 3, never play with matches or lighters.
Come on, y'all, this one should be pretty obvious. If you ever need to use a match or a lighter, please ask an adult for help.
We don't want to see you hurt the land or yourself. Rule 4, always watch your campfire. Like we said before, one of the best things about camping is making a campfire. I love the warmth, the yummy s'mores, the ghost stories.
Oh, no. Please, no more ghost stories. I did not like your last one.
You didn't like any of them.
I mean, that's it. Anyway, campfires are great, but you should always be careful with them. Never walk away from one while it's still burning.
You should never leave it unattended because it could grow beyond your control.
Here are some tips for controlling your campfire before you even build one.
First off, don't make one at all if you're not allowed to at the campgrounds, area, event, or wherever you're camping. Some places prohibit them for safety and they'll post their warnings on signs or on their websites. So try to find out the rules before you even get there. Know before you go.
Second, even if you are allowed to make a campfire, don't do it in hazardous or dry conditions.
If the campgrounds already have an existing fire ring, use it instead of creating a new one. The folks who made the campgrounds will have already put it in a safe location.
If you do have to make a new fire pit, make sure that it's at least 15 feet away from tents, shrubs, trees, or other flammable objects. Also, beware of low-hanging branches.
When you pick a spot, make sure that it's clear, level, and not windy. Clear out 10 feet of grass, twigs, leaves, pine needles, firewood, and other debris around the campfire spot. Then dig a 1-foot pit for the fire to help keep it contained.
Now you're almost ready to make that campfire. One last idea is to remove any rocks from the area.
Wait, that can't be right. Lots of campers like to use a ring of rocks around their fire to keep it contained. That should help prevent wildfires, right?
Yeah, that's true. But the reality is that fire can actually make rocks explode.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, no one is sure exactly why, but the prevailing theory is that some rocks have moisture trapped inside of them. The heat from the fire causes the water to evaporate and bursts right out of the rock.
Wow. Okay, so for your safety, it's best to use some kind of metal ring instead of rocks to contain your campfires.
You got it. Now, let's watch this video simulation from In-Car and U-Car Science.
This video simulation follows a real wildfire that devastated the town and surrounding area of Paradise, California. It consumed an area of over 150,000 acres, destroyed more than 18,000 buildings, caused over $16 billion in damages, and, worst of all, claimed at least 85 human lives, making it the deadliest and most destructive wildfire in California's history, and the most expensive natural hazard worldwide in 2018. The fire burned for 17 days before it was contained, but most of the damage was done in the first 4 hours. The simulation also shows how high winds encouraged the spread of the fire. Likewise, the area had received less rain than usual that year, making the region very dry. Always consider the conditions of an area before making any fire.
Thanks, guys.
So make sure this doesn't happen to you and keep an eye on your campfire.
Rule 5, make sure your campfire is completely out before leaving it.
It's really easy to look at a fire that's almost out and think, oh, that'll burn out on its own.
But really, that's usually when the embers are at their hottest, and it's not too difficult for a wind gust to snatch one and set the woods on fire.
However, there's a really easy method to follow to make sure that your fire is out cold. Ready? Pour, stir, pour. And that's it.
First, you drown your fire in water, then you stir it with a shovel until the embers are out. Then it needs to cool down, so drown it in water again. After that, check the heat of the fire with the back of your hand.
It should be nice and cool. Remember, if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
So if it's still hot, keep pouring water and stirring until it's cold.
This process is actually a lot like putting out your charcoal grill. So remember, whatever fire you're putting out, it's pour, stir, pour again, and then check the heat. Smokey's gonna chime in again to help put it all together.
Every year, humans habitually gather for what they call the summer barbecue. Unfortunately, leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire. Now, could it be?
Smokey!
By George, it's Smokey Bear. These friends are going to learn a thing or two about extinguishing hot coals. Indeed, it looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another long quenching drink for the hot coals. Chilling. And finally, a close feel to confirm they're safe to leave. Smokey has this mastered.
Cool? Okay.
Bang on, Smokey.
Hey, Smokey. Catch.
Oh. My bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Thanks, Smokey.
Now we know the things that we can do right now to help prevent wildfires from ever happening. But there are a lot of different folks who actually have fire prevention jobs.
Like Beth, Linda, and Kara.
Right. So let's check back in with them. Thanks for the help, Genesis. I'll be back in just a little bit.
You got it.